Hello, this is Alex. Today I'm going to go through OneNote Basics. It's Lab 3B. It's an individual learning activity and a guided lab, which means you go through the instructions that are provided for you here in Angel. But I think there's been some confusion about OneNote, and the screenshots in those lab instructions are a little out of date. So I'm going to go through and kind of walk you through it. So I've already downloaded the lab instructions document, and here I have open. We're going to go through it step by step, and but the first step is that we need to open the web-based OneNote application. Here it notes from your student email a SkyDrive account. You can use OneNote from your desktop, but that's not what we're doing in this lab. So basically what you're going to do is open it through your email, because OneNote is one of the web applications that's provided to you through your Office 365 account. So that's the first thing I'm going to do by opening a new tab. And you can do this through MyWay, how you would get your email through myway.mccneb.edu. I'm going to actually go to SkyDrive/OneDrive. As we know, it's changed its name. But I'm going to go to that directly by going to portal.microsoftonline.com. And then as you can see, it's the Office 365. Sign in with your organizational account. For that, that's going to be your username. So whatever your username is at mail.mccneb.edu. So your email address. Mine is different. I'm going to take out the mail, but you leave the mail. And then we just press enter, because what it's going to do is redirect us to a specific one for Metro. So here you'll put just your username and then your password, same one that you used to get into Angel. So now I'm in OneDrive and Office 365. That's going to include Outlook, your email. On your guys's, it'll have a thing that says Outlook. Mine doesn't, because I have another Outlook application, but same concept. It'll open to your mail, but you'll go ahead and click on OneDrive for your documents. Again, as it says in our PDF instructions on how to get there, Outlook, SkyDrive, now it says OneDrive. But to open a new OneNote application, you're going to be opening up a new document. You're basically saying, I want to use OneDrive to open OneNote. So I'll click the plus sign, new document, and then as you can see, I can make a Word document, an Excel, PowerPoint, or OneNote. So I'm going to click on that, and for this, you'll follow the instructions in the lab guide, because you're going to put it in your backup work, so your school backup folder, as it says in the instructions. But first I'm just going to, and then follow the naming convention of the lab. So this one, and I'm just going to call it this because we're just doing a pretend one basically here. But you give it whatever name you want, and then in this case you'll follow the instructions, but whatever name you want, and then click OK. And now I have OneNote Online open. And so this looks slightly different than the screenshots in the PDF, starting with this one, just because things change. This is a web-based application. You'll learn to navigate it and do well with it, but it may change slightly in its appearance. But basically that's it. Here's OneNote, which is how you can use you can use OneNote to keep your research. Like again, it says in the guide, you think of it like an online version of a notebook. You're going to keep all your information in here and organized like you would a notebook, and you can kind of think of sections as like maybe if you ever had a 3-ring binder that had different tabs in it. That's kind of that concept. We're going to organize pages within sections, and then notes, this screen, within those pages. So our first instruction, we've gotten through this part. Our first instruction is to create some new sections. So I believe it goes into the first one that you're supposed to go to is you're going to create two sections named My Recipe Book and Restaurants. So we do this by going back to OneNote, and as you can see, that plus sign over by section is just like the plus new document on the OneDrive homepage. It's the same concept. We're going to add with a plus sign a new one. So you can click on that, and then I'm just pasting my recipe book in there. Or you can do it a little more like it says in the instructions, which by going to insert here at the ribbon at the top, and you can do new page or new section. Obviously here I'm going to do new section because that's kind of my goal. And as you can and then you'll just name your new section Restaurants. So then the instructions here kind of go into how the color is going to be different for each section. And as you can see, Restaurants here is this color, and you can kind of see how visually how it connects those two so we can see that this page, which right now doesn't have a name, but it's going into the Restaurants section. So now it's talking about creating and naming pages within the section. So it says select the My Recipe Book section tab, and then scroll to the left side to get to create a new page called Chocolate Cake. So here's what we're going to do. We're in My Recipe Book, and we can just give this page, Untitled page, the title Chocolate Cake. By here I just pasted Chocolate Cake into this title box right here, which then as you can see, gives it that name too. Or we can just click the plus sign to create a new page, and I can call this whatever I want. I think it says, oh, we're going to create 2 additional pages in your My Recipe Book section and name them Pecan Pie and Cheesecake. So now, instead of whatever, I better follow the instructions and call this one Pecan Pie and this one Cheesecake. And as you can see, if you remember, when we added a new section, we could do it by this, or we could do Insert, New Page, to do the same thing as we just did with making that cheesecake page. So now we're going to scroll down. We've accomplished this. And now we're on task 4. We're going to add information to the page. So again, we're using the analogy that this is just like a newspaper or a notebook, but it's just online. So what do you do in a spiral bound notebook? You would write notes in it. So these notes are going to be what's listed in this under task 4. So it states that on the cheesecake page, you're going to create 3 different text boxes containing the following information. And they can be anywhere on the thing as it states, and you can kind of see it's the same concept, it just looks slightly different. But so what we're going to do is, as you can see, anywhere I click, it kind of creates a text box for me. So I'm just going to paste my text, my note, into that text box, and I can write whatever I want in a different text box. And once I click on this right hand screen, it creates a new text box. Now I can also move this around, and all I did to do that was I clicked over it, kind of hovered, and I turned it from a cursor, which means I'm going to type input text in there, to this the arrows up and down, which indicates that I can move it. So once I do that, I can click and drag and wherever I want. I can also make it bigger if I wanted to have lots of text, which I do not at the moment. But so let's go back to the text that we're actually supposed to put in, which includes these 3 text boxes. So instead of that, I'm going to paste in that. So there you can see there's the cheesecake page. Scrolling down and kind of skipping ahead, I'm not going to go through everything, just to make sure that you read the guide, but I wanted to give you a visual that's more closely aligned to what it actually looks like when you get into it. Now, the next section of that is to put in a picture. So what it says is to find Wikimedia Commons, which is just the like photos section of Wikipedia. So I can put it in my Google box here and it'll open up Wikimedia Commons. And what I'm going to do is search for a picture of a pecan pie. Now here's a Wikimedia Commons photo of a pecan pie and I'm going to insert it on my page. So I can do that just by doing right click with my mouse, and then I can save it to my desktop if I want, but right now I'm just going to copy it. Go to my pecan pie page, click in the notebook section rather than the title, and do paste. Uh-oh, can't access clipboard. Sometimes web-based applications like this, or like Gmail if you ever use that, they can't take the clipboard, the information on the clipboard. So like, whereas I could just do a right-click paste on most things, like if I were in the desktop version of Word, I can't do it here. So what I can do though is it's already in my clipboard, because as you see I did the right-click copy image. So I know it's there, but all I have to do is do Control V on my keyboard and it'll paste instead. So it says that in the lab if you have problems, just do a Control V or Control C for paste or copy. So I'm not going to go through absolutely everything, but it continues with kind of the same concept until it gets to task 5, which is sharing your notebook, creating a guest link, and saving your OneNote notebook. So what that means is we're going to figure out how we can save this so that I will be able to see it and give you a grade. So what it says here on this task is you're going to download the file lab B3B screenshots, which now I'm back in Angel, and you can see that that's the file that I need to download. So I'm just going to save it on my desktop right now. So here it is. This is the 3B OneNote screenshots. All you're going to do is just paste your screenshots into here. That's the reason why it's there, which I'm not going to do right now, but that's what you'll do at home. Then we're going to go back to our OneNote notebook, and we're going to create a view only sharing link. So that means that I will give, so say I wanted to share this with my friends for this awesome pecan pie recipe. What I would do is go up to share, and it's going to open me in a new tab. And now it's open up this window that says share the lab, and I can enter their email addresses in here. Or, so if I wanted to share that pecan pie recipe, or I could get a link. So that's the second one down, and if you do view only, anyone with this link can see the file. So that means that when it's in your SkyDrive and has this lock only shared with you, that means only I can see this file. Nobody else can see this file. But if I create a link, then I can make it so that anyone can see the file, anyone with that link, or create a link in which anyone can edit the file. So here I'm going to do a view only one so that you guys can't mess with it, but you can see it. So I'm going to create link, and then there it is. All I do is Control C for copy, and then I'll put it into my screenshots file, which is also what I will attach to this Dropbox.